So, quick overview of the agenda. We're going to do general information to start, some logistics and timelines. I'll talk a little bit about the fall drive box. That's going to be the box of goodies you get. Normally, my colleague Daniela in marketing would be speaking about that, as she's the one who you'll still be communicating with if you have issues, but she's enjoying some time in Europe, so good for her. Next, we'll be doing goals and incentives. Parth will go over an overview of activities and other ideas to make it a fun and effective drive. A Q&A sesh, which there should be plenty of time at the end. And then we'll close things off. Next slide. All right, so as I said, I'm Henry Lagramini. I manage our operations side of membership. So I do feel like I'm starting to know most of you either via email or in person. I know I met a lot of you at the Summer Leadership Institute here in DC, but it's nice to see you all again and see some new faces. And then Parth, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, gladly. Hi, everyone. My name is Parth Patel, and I'm the Senior Manager of Student Development here at APHA. So, along with Henry, our team helps you with anything that you need on the chapter level. So, when it comes to anything for the fall drive, it comes to any of your officer positions, we are the ones you can come to get some structure from. Also, y'all may have already known Crystal and Lynette, who are also members of our team who are here to help you out. So we are excited to help you out during this webinar and anything moving forward this year. So go ahead and at the end of the presentation, you'll get our contact information. Please write that down and save that because that'll be a great asset to you this year. And we're here to help you with anything that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll reiterate same thing. You can always start with me. And if I don't know, I might redirect you somewhere, but always feel free to go to me first if you don't know where to go. Okay, next slide. Okay, so starting off with some general information. All right, so the purpose of the fall drive is pretty simple. We just want to enroll all the student pharmacists that we can at your chapter, your university. So simply enough, we want to recruit new or first year student pharmacists to APHA. Not everyone is going to already be a member. We're encouraging you to go out and cast as wide as net as possible within your school or college of pharmacy. It's important. The more student members we have, the bigger your voice is, the bigger your voice with us, the bigger your voice is, broadly across the country, whether that be here in DC legislatively or at your state level. So not only are you getting a bunch of good benefits and useful career and life guidance and benefits, but it's also, there's strength in numbers. So it's really what you're doing and the work you're putting in is very important, I'll say. And then, of course, we need to renew the members we already have. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next slide. Okay, so pricing information, pretty simple. The second line there I underlined because that's going to be the most important one. Most of the students you'll be picking up in this drive will not be final year students. A big reason for that is the spring drive we just had was meant to get our students that will be transitioning soon to full-time practice. But if there are any final year students that need or want to join, that there is that option, and that's going to be $65. And then if your chapter has opted in to the $10 additional chapter dues, it will be a total of 49 then for most students. That's already been decided. So reach out to other chapter members to if you're unsure if your chapter will has already opted into that, or of course you can reach out to me. Next slide. There we go. Okay. This specifically was the one I was thinking about for the recording might be nice. So as you spread the word of why students at your school should renew or join, these are the sorts of benefits that you're going to want to keep in mind. And we kind of broke them down into four big categories. Of course, professional development is important. People, I'll generously include myself in your generation. We don't necessarily see the sort of benefit of professional associations. Back in the day, it used to be that it was kind of a given that anyone in a medical field would just join the professional association. Now we kind of have to sell it a little more. And I say sell it, it is worth it. That maybe not the best word, but so these are some helpful things that you can use to sort of, you know, share why APHA is so helpful. And then, of course, mixing it in with your own experience and how it's helped you. I mean, a lot of you are in leadership by the nature of being in this call. So, you can share how that's been helpful, patient care and career resources, and then, of course, things like awards and insurance. So it's just, it's a mix of the personal, the professional, and just the things like insurance that are just that you need to have or that are just extremely useful on a practical level. Okay, next slide. Okay, so these we put in here. These are benefits that are useful more for once you're a full-time practitioner. And this is useful information for why APHA is useful throughout your career. It's not just a student organization, it's something that will help you throughout. So we listed some great benefits that you'll continue to get throughout your first few years in your career, and then through I guess the rest of your career. Parth, you're a new practitioner yourself. Is there anything you want to add on this slide?
Yeah, happily. So as Henry was saying, these are benefits that you'll definitely utilize more so once you graduate because you can see CPE, so Contending Pharmacy Education, is a part of this resource practice center activities that you can get involved in to help your patients and things on the advocacy level. Now that applies for both student pharmacists and practicing pharmacists. Basically, this is all to show that APHA is not your home just during your student pharmacist career, but the entirety of your career. And as being a new practitioner, I have a lot of my colleagues who are utilizing these tools in their day-to-day practices. And whenever there's something that they don't need, APHA is able to help create and utilize resources and toolkits that practitioners can use in whatever sector of pharmacy they go into. So the big thing we're trying to get across here is APHA is your home, not just for these 3 or 4 years, but the rest of your career.
Exactly. Awesome. Next slide. Okay, logistics and timelines. And there we go. Okay, for the fall 2025 drive, so I'm gonna be weird and start from the bottom up. So August 1st to October 31st, that last line there, that's gonna be the drive itself. Okay, that's when you're gonna want to have people register. Um, when Parth talks about goals and incentives later, these are going to be the dates for that as well. So something you're going to really want to show some sort of urgency with your fellow chapter mates is that this needs to all, if possible, be in by October 31st. Um, then that is the same deadline. If we move up to the third line for the upload files to be due, that you'll be working with me on that exclusively. If your chapter has opted into an upload process for the fall drive, so due date October 31st, keep that in mind. Okay, so sometime between now and more towards the end of August, depending on, shipping logistics across the country, you should be getting your fall membership drive boxes. So don't panic if you haven't gotten them yet. But if it does get to the point where it seems like you should have gotten it and you haven't, my colleague that I mentioned earlier, Daniela, will be the one to reach out, and her contact information will be at the end here. And then first line there. Parth will be talking about this a little later. He'll be doing some student outreach visits. Those will be happening throughout the drive as well. Okay. Okay, so I kind of hinted at this earlier, but for those who don't know, there's two avenues for students to join or renew. Most chapters go the individual enrollment route, the little left pointing arrow. That is going to be students at your school, everyone at your chapter will be logging into pharmacist.com, going into their account. There's a whole join and renew process in the top. It's very self-explanatory and simple, or not simple, but it should be pretty straightforward. And then so everyone's kind of on their own in that case. We have some reports so that you can track who has signed up and renewed and who hasn't. And then the other route is the chapter file upload process. So about 24 schools have opted in for various reasons to do one big upload for everyone. This also has already been determined. So your chapter has already chosen to do it or not do it at this point. If you're unsure, you know, like I said earlier, talk to your chapter mates or I've talked to me. Um, Reminder again, because I can't remind you enough, October 31st, the deadline, if you did opt into this upload process. And then I believe in the next slide, a little more on that. Yes, so there is a new upload process. It's not really a new process. It'll look the same if you did this in the spring drive or the fall or the previous fall drive. But I just really want you to pay attention to the new spreadsheet. Everything that's in red will need to be completed. Otherwise, it's going to have to go back, which just can delay things. I want to point out that there are red columns further deeper, I guess, to the right or the descending letters. So you'll see the obvious ones at the first kind of sheet that pops up, you know, name and email, things like that. Keep scrolling all the way to the end just to make sure that you've gotten all of them because there's a few stragglers more deeper into the spreadsheet, if that makes sense. So just look out for the red. You know, if you take one thing away from this presentation for my sake, on these uploads at least, just complete the reds and then everyone will be able to be signed up in a nice and timely manner. Awesome. Next slide. Okay, communications. So keep an eye on your inbox. We'll be sending roughly weekly emails with updates and information. If you're not getting those, it could be your school firewall. It could be a different email is on file for you. That's been the case a few times. So you should have gotten at least something from us. If not, definitely reach out to me right away. Um, Most of you got my email about keeping your chapter executive roster current. I appreciate everyone who has come to me with their issues. We've been able to solve all of them so far, which is great. And Parth and I have noticed that a lot of you have made a lot of updates since that went out. And so I just, again, clap, clap, clap. That's hugely appreciated. And then, like we've talked about earlier, this presentation itself will be sent out soon after, which should be a good test to see if your email's working from us. Okay, next slide. Awesome, fall drive box. Let's dive in. Okay, what's in the box? We have informational flyers, some fun stickers, badge reels, lapel pins for student leaders, and then a retractable tabletop poster. So next slide will show you. Yeah, so on the left we have the cute sticker, which is fun, follows the presidential theme. And then the image on the small little moon there above the badge reel. That's the image that will be on the badge reel. Those can be quite fun and come in handy. And then that is our pin on the right. Next slide. Okay, here is a copy of the flyer you'll be getting. Helpful during the drive to hand out, to have in where you know, gather. I don't know. And just to have on hand. It has all the helpful information that you could use, nicely designed by our graphics team. And then next slide. A sort of condensed version of that is going to be put in a retractable tabletop presenter. So it's not going to be the pizza image, it'll be the one on the left, but it'll be in that sort of stand. We want you to hang on to that because we designed this to be useful for years to come because it's quite handy. So any sort of like job fairs or orientations or meetings in general, you can just pop it right up. It's there to look at, a nice QR code will really come in handy. But like I said, not designed just for this, so hold on to it, keep it in a nice safe space after this. Yeah, and I believe that's it, but let's go to the next slide just to confirm. Awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Patel, and he will present the next few slides.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that, Henry. So yes, you've heard about a little bit of how to do the upload process and hearing more about what's kind of in the fall drive box. But now we're going to go into the incentives that you can look forward to and achieve this year during the fall drive. So the first big one, you may have known about this since last year, but we're going back with the first tier and second tier goals. So chapter goals are going to be utilized using the following kind of matrix. So it's going to be 40% of your on-campus student pharmacists. That means everyone who's not their final years. Now, if you're a virtual program, when we're saying on campus, we just basically mean everyone who's not a final year. So if you're able to get 40% of that student population, that'll be put you in tier 1. And if you get 60% of that population, you'll put in tier 2, and both come with their own unique benefits. Now, this doesn't mean that people can't become members after the fall drive, but if you're able to garner this level of support and membership through the fall drive, which ends on October 31st, you will be entered, or you will get these benefits that we're about to go into now. So the first one is for the tier 1 40%. So all chapters who at minimum reach the 40% will receive a discount for all of their members for the APHA 2026 annual meeting exposition. So this is a 39-person value, so that's the discount that everyone will receive. So it's a great way to just get more interest in going to annual meeting and make it a little bit cheaper, because trust me, I know when I was a student pharmacist, things were tight. So I understand the challenges it is being there, and things like this is very helpful to get this experience at annual meeting that will be life-changing and really help you for your career. And this will be available for everybody. So along with that, chapters who not only reach the 40%, go past beyond and hit the 60% will receive the aforementioned discount for all members, and then also an additional 10 registrants will receive $150 off. And that's going to be kind of specific for chapter executive committee members. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be. That is up to the chapter to decide. And we'll work with you once fall drive is over and we're hitting January and getting ready for annual meeting. We'll receive emails talking about who achieved the 40% goal, who achieved the 60% goal, and then go back and forth a little bit about who is receiving those discounts and how you'll access those discounts. So this is a great way to get your chapter leaders, or even just someone else involved who is interested in chapter leadership, to get to annual meeting and learn from people from all across the nations and see the thousands of other pharmacists you'll meet there. All of the hundreds of sessions will be happening, and the specific student track where you'll get plugged in and see what everyone's doing across the nation. There we go. Okay. So I want to talk about pulling the reports too. So as you're trying to achieve these 40%, 60% goals, you may be like, all right, Parth, you said this is what we need to achieve, but how do I know if we hit those? Well, the great way you can do that is through the online portal. So you can go on to pharmacist.com and go to your own personal account and then go to the My Groups tab in your account. From there, you'll be able to pull the reports. And if you're not really sure how to run that report, please reach out to Henry. He'll be happy to help you and show you how you can do that. So everyone who's eligible to or who's able to pull this report would be your chapter advisors, your co-advisors, presidents, your president-elects, your membership VP can all pull this chapter roster report. And then from there, you can determine, are we at 40% yet? Are we at 60% yet? Or are we getting close? As we're going to the end of fall drive, we'll be sending you some updated information to be like, hey, you're really, really close, to just give you that final push so you can cross that threshold. But throughout the entirety of the fall drive, if you need some ideas, you need some support, we are here for you. Well, like I said earlier, we'll get a confirmation in the end and we'll be here to support you. But that being said, we now kind of want to take some time to talk together. This is a great opportunity for all of us to share ideas with one another and see what everyone else is doing and try to implement that in our own chapters. So here's some activities and other ideas that you could utilize. I just want to first start off with overall strategies that I want everyone to be kind of aware of and be cognizant of as well. So the first thing is telling your story. When I was a student pharmacist, I remember my first day of pharmacy school, I was stressed out. I didn't know anyone. I did the program where I jumped in earlier on, so I didn't get an undergrad degree. And that means all my friends who were going to go to pharmacy school in my undergrad institution ended up still graduating. So I jumped in without any of them there. So I was by myself, and all I could think about is how I'm going to survive this by myself. I do not know. But one of the first days, I had so many APHA members come up to me and talk to me about why they joined, how it's benefited them as a P2, as a P3, as a P4, as a graduate, and how much of an impact APHA was able to have in their lives. So the best way to really get people to join APHA and get involved with our amazing association is tell them your story. Everyone doesn't join organizations because of, well, there's fantastic benefits, which we have, of course, have, the fantastic opportunities, which we of course have, but it's because of the people. You are all the people that they want to talk to. So please utilize and understand what your story is and tell them why you joined and why you see benefit in our association. Next, this is a really important point that I want everyone to be cognizant of and really change that vernacular. So if you've ever called APHA ASP a school club, that is definitely not correct because we are a national association. This is not something that just exists on your college campus. It's everywhere. And it's not just your time as a student pharmacist, but your entire career. And that's the benefit of this association. We help you from the beginning of that first day in the classroom to that last day where everyone's celebrating your retirement. We are part of this journey and this is your professional home. And we want to think of it that way. So definitely highlight that and make sure not to use that that club vernacular, just because it can get people thinking like, all right, this is something extracurricular. I really don't need to do this, but this is going to be really helpful for them in any area of pharmacy they go into. Next thing is when you're trying to think about how you can recruit people into APHA, show what we do. Set up events, both social and patient care focused, for student pharmacists to get involved in. I remember many of the first activities I went to, and I was able to make an impact on patients' lives as a first-year student pharmacist, which I did not think I'd be able to do, but I got to learn point of care testing. I got to help out patients, and even at ones where I wasn't ready for it because we did immunization second year, I was able to help screen patients, and it was very beneficial for me to start applying the things I was learning in the classroom, and it made me want to get more involved. But also, I wanted to join something that was fun and I felt like I could have friends with. So do socials, do things that make you stand out and identify what I said. That's the next point is identify what sets your chapter apart. Figure out what your culture is and what you want to market out. So I'd really sit down with the executive committees at your chapters and see like, y'all, what makes us different? Sorry, I say y'all and Southern sayings a lot. I am from Georgia, so you will see that a lot as I speak. But sit down and be like, y'all, what makes us different? What sets APHA ASP apart at our institution, at our College of Pharmacy? After identifying that, hit that point home over and over again to people because people are going to join people and they're going to join what sets them apart and makes them feel different but involved. The other thing is one of the fantastic opportunities I get to help out with, which is a chapter outreach program. So every August to October, chapters can request a chapter outreach visit, which is where you'll have one of the national team members. So the National Executive Committee, which is all student pharmacist leaders, myself, or APHA fellows come to your chapter and give a presentation about what the benefits of APHA membership is and how you can get involved in all the opportunities we hold in our association. So if you want some support, we can come not only virtually, but also in person. So please reach out to me and I can get you the form link on how to set that up. Please talk to your chapter members first to see if you've already submitted this or not, because we do have quite a few have already submitted. But if you're not sure how you can get the message out and you want some support, this is a great way to utilize that. Next, I really encourage y'all to do a buddy system. When I was a student pharmacist as a first year, and then when I got involved on APHA, ASP at my chapters, at University of Georgia's chapters, executive committee, we implemented a buddy system. We would get members to find people who weren't members, a lot of times first year student pharmacists who are nervous and don't know what to do, and just become their buddy. Not necessarily just for the sake of becoming members of APHA, but like talking them, making them feel more comfortable about coming to pharmacy school. And then vicariously, they just want to get more involved in stuff that this person is doing. So it's a great way to make people feel more integrated and show them the APHA is for everybody. So I definitely urge y'all to implement a buddy system at your local chapters and utilize that to get the word out and get people involved. So kind of talking about some strategies, but let's talk about what activities you can do. One thing I already kind of hit on is a chapter social night. Show them that APHA is a place for everyone and do things that are going to be fun. Pharmacy school is so stressful and I cannot emphasize to you all how important it is to take breaks. I know it feels like I can't, like, part I gotta study. I got 300 drug guard tests tomorrow. Trust me, I get it. I was there. I felt that pain. But it's so important to take breaks and do it in a way where other people can understand kind of what you're going through and make that community, make that family at your local chapter. So really highlight that by having chapter social night. You can do many things. You can do a board game night, you can do restaurant nights, whatever works for your chapter, but think about what people aren't doing and what's going to get people involved, but also think about what's accessible. Even if you are not, if you have a remote program or if you have a virtual program, there's so many things you can do. I went to school during the pandemic, so whether we had a campus or not, no one was on campus. So we utilized a lot of virtual socials to get everyone more integrated, and especially at a time where we're all feeling very divided, it was very nice to come together in a place and just relax. So there's virtual escape rooms you can do, trivia nights, PowerPoint nights where you can do fun topics that's not school related. And it's a great way to just be yourself and meet some great people. Next is also seeing if you can get a faculty presentation and dean support. So you hear all from student pharmacists day in and day out about organizations on your college campus, but you may not know that many of your faculty advisors or faculty members are also involved in national associations. So find ones who are members of APHA, and it doesn't have to be just your chapter advisor, but it can be anyone, and have them come give a presentation about why they are still involved in APHA and what's done for their career. It's a great way to show that APHA is not just an organization for students, but for everybody. And it follows you throughout your career. And also a great way is getting your dean support. Now, we know that deans have to support everyone and we want them to, but it's great if you can have during a chapter meeting, maybe the dean can come and just give a little bit about the importance of getting involved in an association. If you're not sure how to approach that, please feel free to reach out to us, and during these chapter outreach visits, we can help support that and talk to your dean. Next, I'd also encourage setting up some training sessions for first year student pharmacists, or a refresher session for non-first year student pharmacists. So I know when summers happen or you get some breaks, you can forget some of these skills. So it's a great way to get point of care testing or just get support. And then you can show that APHA is not just about, you know, doing the actual patient care activities, but also training and supporting you in all of that. And so it's a great way to show that APHA is about multiple things and not just one area of pharmacy. And then lastly, you can also get a presentation from final year student pharmacists. We at my college campus did that. And now as I've gone to chapter outreach visits, I see many different chapters do this. So this is a great way a chapter can hear from their final year student pharmacists and keep them in the loop, because they've gone through the gambit of what their early years of pharmacy school like. So hearing from them and how it helped them by the time they got to rotations can be really beneficial and really make them feel like, that new members feel like that this is a part of an organization that you're part of a lot. So kind of talk about some general activities, but we want to hear about what you're doing at your chapter and how you can involve. We actually have 3 fantastic members of our member engagement standing committee who are here to help you out. So I want to toss this over to them a little bit to share some what activities they've done at their local chapters, and then open up the floor to anyone. And if you don't want to come off camera, or don't want to come on camera, or don't want to unmute, that's completely fine. Please put in the chat to talk about the activities that you're doing in your chapter, or if you have questions about what activities you can do. We're all here as a team together. Think of this as a giant brainstorming session, and we're all on the same team to help people get involved with APHA. So with that, I'm going to toss it over to Jenna, Desiree, and Camille.
Everyone, my name is Desiree. I am a P4 student pharmacist from the University of Buffalo, and I'm a part of the Member Engagement Standing Committee along with Jenna. Camille unfortunately could not make it tonight, but Jenna and I will talk a little bit more about what our chapters are doing. And if anyone has any questions, again, Henry and Parth and all of the APHA ASP team are great resources, but you can always reach out to MESC also. My chapter has done probably what I think a lot of chapters have done, at least from those student pharmacists that I've spoken to in the past. But typically during our fall membership drive, we do a raffle for a free membership throughout our kind of introductory general body meeting. And then we've also done a bingo night, as Parth mentioned. Doing some sort of game night to get student pharmacists involved is always a lot of fun. And sometimes we can use some APHA ASP prizes, but also use some other fun prizes. And those are always enjoyable nights in addition to getting some classic buffalo pizza, specifically Franco's Pizza, and that is just a staple at our school. Um, but I know from talking with some of even the other MESC members, other chapters have done like specific letter writing to members, tapping new pharmacists or student pharmacists, so P1s coming into the school, and even your final year student pharmacists, and just tapping them on the shoulder saying either can a new membership, start a new membership, or continuing their membership, sending personal letters to them is a great way for them to get involved, or specifically going up to student pharmacists is a great way to get them connected and tell them a little bit about your journey in APHA ASP. But I'll hand it off to Jenna.
Thanks so much, Desiree. And great ideas as well. So, hi everyone. My name is Jenna. I'm a student pharmacist from Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences in Boston. Um, so, a pretty successful membership drive that my school chapter did was kind of like similar to like an event social. It was called Membership Drive, like mixing it up. And we basically did like a table session mixed with a cupcake decorating station event, where potential members could like compound their own cupcakes, talk about memberships, benefits, what APHA can offer, what like our school chapter can offer, and also like the other staff from APHA would come, and then they would meet like their other like formally. So it was just like a cute little event that we had, and it was like in the lobby where a lot of people are coming and going, and a lot of people like cupcakes and a lot of people like decorating. So a cupcake decorating event um got a lot of like people to sign up, and it was pretty successful and really fun. Um yeah, that's just something that we did.
Thank y'all for that. And you'll notice a kind of a trend that both Desiree and Jenna talked about. Many people were involved in in all these activities. And that's the big thing. I know many of you who are in this call are probably your membership vice president, or maybe you're on the membership committee at your chapter. But membership is kind of everyone's responsibility in the sense that we know the benefits of this association and why we got involved. So this is the time to share with everyone why you got involved and get other people into it. So the point is for everyone to help everyone get involved into this association. So if that's kind of the culture that's maybe at your chapter that you feel like the MVP has the only person who's responsible for all this, that is definitely the wrong thing. And it's a big burden to bear to put that challenge on someone. So really highlight that and take this back. And, if you are the MVP at your next e-board meeting, say, hey, y'all, we got official saying from our APHA ASP staff, this is all of our responsibilities. So think of it that way and how everyone get involved and get members involved. So I do want to highlight some amazing things that's happening in the chat right now. So Karen shared that they also made handwritten notes and personalized it to the distance learning pathways. I love that. You want to make sure that everyone's feeling involved, and just because someone's not on campus doesn't mean they can't be a part of APHA ASP. We have people all over. So that's a great way to show them that they're still cared for and a part of the association. Ooh, and thank you for sharing, Andy. So Andy's saying that they had done activities like a field day or kickball social to get people involved, and it's a great informal way to talk about membership, but also hear from pharmacists in all different areas, because that's the benefit about our association. We're the home for all pharmacists. As you can see in the little corner of the presentation, we're for every pharmacist, for all the pharmacy. And you'll see on my little background here, it says many paths, one home. APHA, no matter what sector pharmacy you choose to go into, we have a place for you here. And the benefit about our association is, since we have everyone here, if you ever want to make a change in your career or you want to learn about different opportunities, this is the place to do it. So that's the thing that really sets our association apart, that we definitely want you to hit home out when you're at your chapters. Amazing. We have a lot of good things happening in the chat now, so I definitely encourage y'all to look through there to see some ideas and put down some ideas. But I also want to open up the floor if anyone has specific questions. If there is some struggles that you're facing at your local level that you feel comfortable sharing, whether in the chat or if you want to private message it to one of us, we'd be happy to discuss it here as a team and answer some of those questions, which I'm going to go ahead and flip over for the Q&A. I'll come back to this slide, but since we're doing Q&A now, I want to open it up. And as you see, Crystal Atwell, another member of our APHA student development team, talked about if you're not sure where to start, really survey the students on campus to see what their interests are. Just because you are in the role doesn't mean you have to make the ideas on your own. It's honestly best we're pharmacy personnel. We like our data, we like our information. So poll people to see what activities people are interested in and make socials, make events based off of that information. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Henry, Jenna, Desiree, are y'all seeing anything?
I just want to thank Andy again for the messages are very encouraging, and congratulations on your enrollment.
Yes. Thank you, Andy, for sharing. And as Andy pointed out, like Sullivan is a little bit of a smaller private pharmacy school, but they're able to do a lot of these things. So don't feel like you're the only one going through challenges. Trust me, all of us at any campus are going through some recruitment and retention challenges. When we do chapter outreach, we ask kind of what are some of the biggest things that your chapter is facing. And 9 times out of 10, that is one of the top things that everyone talks about. So we're all in this together. So if you have questions throughout the entirety of the fall drive, please reach out to APHA staff. Please reach out to the member engagement standing committee. We are here to help you out. Think of us as an extension of your executive committees. You are not on this alone, and we're here to support you. And Andy's even offering himself. So see, we're all in this together. All right. Well, with that being said, I want to also give you our contact information so you can reach out for these questions. So if you ever have questions regarding any APHA programming, anything with the awards processes, please reach out to me. If you have questions regarding the fall drive box, so includes like if you don't receive the box by mid to late August, please reach out to Daniela. As Henry said, she's living her best life right now over in Europe, but she's coming back to the States to come visit, come see us again. Just in a few short weeks, so she'll be back here to help us out. Henry's here to help out with any of your membership report questions. Anything comes to like the website on the My Groups tab. So if you have questions with that stuff, please reach out to Henry. And we also have a new member joining our team, Jeremy. So Jeremy will be involved in any of our benefits. So if you have questions of any of your finalist pharmacists have questions about the transitioning membership kind of benefits, like the NAPLEX study guides or the Pearl stuff, please reach out to him. But if you don't know where to go to, a good source is the APHA ASP email. So you can reach out to that and we all have access to it. So we will be sending it back and forth. But if you forget of all the specifics of what we're doing, do not worry. Just email one of us. We'll make sure it gets to each other.
Yeah, and to reiterate about Jeremy, so he's one of our new staff members, and some of you have maybe even noticed I've been sort of sending some of your benefit questions his way. So we're happy to have him on staff, and you'll be meeting him, I'm sure, at some point soon. And yeah, I feel like I had one other follow-up and it's gone. So um, look forward to hearing from you all.
Forgive us a little bit, y'all. It is almost 9 p.m. on the East Coast here. You know, we have been working for about 12 hours because we care so much about y'all and want y'all
Because we
to
care so much.
And Crystal also put up a good point in the chat here. We have now rolled out a new monthly need to know video. So this is a great way in short form content for you to see what's the important things that you need to know about for this month. So you can look at this video on the link that Crystal shared in the chat, where Rachel, our national president, is discussing things you need to know for August. You can expect that every single month, both posted on our communities page there and also on the APHA ASP YouTube, where this recording is going to be placed and all the recordings you're going to see throughout the year. So if you're not sure where to find something, best place to go is check the YouTube. With that being said, it has been a pleasure getting to present to y'all tonight. We wish you all luck during your fall drives this year. And if you ever need anything, please, we're only an email away. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, everyone. We appreciate it.